Just before 10 a.m. today, Canadian national John DeShaies was paraded down the steps of the Supreme Court in Belize City. It's his second appearance before a judge in exactly 1 week. This time, however, the outcome was positive for him because after spending a week in lockdown, he would no longer be on the inside of a jail cell. Justice Antoinette Moore granted the 54-year-old bail of $20,000 plus two $10,000 sureties, which he was able to meet around 1 o'clock this afternoon. At the bail hearing today, attorneys Kevin Arters and Dickie Bradley appeared on behalf of the accused.
It was not as difficult as Mr. Arters and myself had been up last night preparing for the submissions, because the word was that in fact the government attorneys would be asking for Mr. DeShaies to be further remanded in relation to another matter. Kevin is of the considered view and has further information to support that the charge levied against Mr. John DeShaies in relation to some bogus theft in Placencia, that will completely fall apart, but that there was no need for his freedom to have been taken away.
Prosecutor Jacqueline Willoughby did not object to bail, which came with conditions. DeShaies must check in with the Corozal police station every Friday. He must also surrender his Canadian passport and not travel outside of Belize. DeShaies was also warned not to interfere with any witnesses or complainants. But according to Attorney Bradley, his client is not guilty of any crime.
There was no objection to him applying for bail on a matter of a theft, which, let me say this for the records, he was merely on behalf of the owners of those things, keeping a watchful eye to see that they were secured. He didn't steal any of those items, and he did not criminally handle any items that were stolen. And that matter will be cleared up, and nothing will come out of that matter.
The bail hearing was with respect to the charges of theft and handling stolen goods for the over $57,000 worth of electronic items stolen from the Placencia Casino. But it is no secret that DeShaies is a person of interest in the double murders of Canadian-American couple 52-year-old Francesca Matos and her 36-year-old boyfriend, Drew Thomas Devorsney.
Mr. DeShaies' name has been all over the world. The American and Canadian media have been in constant touch with Kevin Arters and Stephen Pereira in relation to this matter. I see calls right now on my phone because for some reason they has put out his name that he's a suspect in a double murder of two foreigners, one American, one Canadian. Mr. DeShaies told me that he was extensively interviewed by officers claiming to be members of the Federal Bureau of Investigation from the United States, who asked, and he cooperated and gave a blood sample and other information. He completely cooperated with the FBI officers.
But were DeShaies' rights violated? Last Friday, the construction contractor by profession was remanded by Independence Magistrate Yolanda De Moya to the Central Prison in Hattieville. But that did not happen, and he was in fact taken to the Corozal police station and was only turned over to the Kobe Foundation 2 days ago on Wednesday. His attorneys believe that the administrative move went against the orders of the court.
From my understanding of it, it was an administrative thing internally with the prosecution and the police department. It had nothing to do with Mr. DeShaies or any of us. It was something that the Corozal police, when they got, I think it was a warrant, when the warrant was finally prepared, it was sometime late.
Mr. DeShaies was only taken to the prisons on Wednesday of this week because there is a procedure, and Kevin will speak with Mr. DeShaies and his family on the matter. The situation is also that when a court deny you bail and make a warrant for you to be taken to prison, the police can't spirit you off and take you to other police stations because you are now under the jurisdiction of the court and you are to be taken to Her Majesty's prisons. If the police are investigating any matter and would like to speak to that person who is in prison on the orders of a court, they would have to get permission. They would have to apply to the court for a removal warrant to move Mr. DeShaies and have him all over the country. He was in the Belmopan police station being interrogated. He was in the Corozal police station being interrogated. His common law wife refused entry to see him. Can't take clothes, can't take toothpaste, nothing of that matter.
Disclosure in the theft case is November 6th, and the preliminary inquiry is scheduled for November 23rd. Dwayne Moody for News 5.